Hi, thank you for tuning into the Tom Batelson Show. I wanted to take an episode and just talk about James Earl Jones. He recently passed away at the age of 93. That's a long life. That's a good life. It's not shocking to hear about someone who's 93 passing away, and yet it was. You hear that and you go, my goodness. I posted this on my Instagram and called him the voice of my generation because I thought I've known his voice my entire life. And even if you don't follow Star Wars, or you know his voice. You know who Darth Vader is. You know the voice of Darth Vader. You know the voice of Mufasa. It's such a commanding, kingly, fatherly, deep, rich, beautiful voice of James Earl Jones. I can't remember the first time I found out that James Earl Jones was the voice of Darth Vader, because we had the album growing up, and just after the movie came out and there was no internet and people weren't talking about all the specifics and you couldn't find out about things, we had the record. And I would listen to the record and I would look at the names on the back and saw that David Prowse was Darth Vader. I'm like, okay, so that's that. And I can't recall when I learned it was James Earl Jones's voice and David Prowse's body. I remember seeing The Making of Star Wars, which was a documentary that came out, I think it was on ABC in 1977. Oh, we ate that up. Oh my goodness, we were glued to the television set to get more Star Wars because it wasn't coming out, for another 3 years for Empire Strikes Back. So we had The Making of Star Wars, and Mark Hamill was on The Muppet Show, and we had the holiday special. They were just hurling Star Wars at us, and I didn't know that James Earl Jones was the voice, and I can't remember when I figured it out, or who told me, or who bought a magazine and read a fan. There were no blogs back then. How did I discover this knowledge? I don't remember, but I knew it by the time 1983 came about, because in 1982, Conan the Barbarian came out, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Earl Jones as Thulsa Doom. And I think it was my older brothers that said that's the voice of Darth Vader. You can hear it if you listen. And I was blown away by the villainous nature of Thulsa Doom and that commanding voice. And I was like, wow, he's quite a presence when he is on screen. And he's talking to Arnold about the riddle of steel.
That is power. The strength and power of flesh. What is steel compared to the hand that wields it? Look at the strength of your body, the desire in your heart. I gave you this. Such a waste.
So that was 1983. In 1989, big jump in my gap here, Field of Dreams comes out, where he plays Terrence Mann. And at the very end of that, he gives the speech about "They will come, Ray." And it's got one of my favorite lines that he's ever delivered. He said,
"They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it is money they have, and peace they lack."
Because it's money they have, but peace they lack. I love that line. That is a deep, rich, beautiful line. And then I see him in The Hunt for Red October. He is Admiral Jim Greer. Again, a fatherly figure and a big, booming voice, like someone you would look up to. All of his figures are a king or an overlord, or like he's at the top of whatever game he's in, playing whoever he's playing. That was in 1990. And then, of course, in 1994, The Lion King comes out, the animated version. And he is, of course, the voice of Mufasa, the Lion King, before Simba becomes the Lion King. When they redo it and they do the live action version, which is in 2019, the cast is entirely different. Except for the Lion King, Mufasa is James Earl Jones. Because what are you going to do? Who are you going to get? How are you going to do that? I mean, my goodness. Jumping to his comedic chops, he is Jaffe Joffer, King of Zamunda in Coming to America. My goodness, what a fun movie that has always been. And let's not talk about the second one. Unnecessary. But again, a kingly figure. And he's got the big lion wrapped around him James Earl Jones. That voice, that commanding presence, oh my goodness. And then in 2005, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. I remember seeing that in the theater and sitting with my buddy. And I'm watching it happen. I'm watching the mask get put on Hayden Christensen and watching him lean up. I'm like, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Is it going to be James Earl Jones? And then it is. And oh, I almost came to tears in the theater when that happened. I almost came to tears. That was crazy. Hearing his voice saying, yes, Master. Padme, is she all right? I was like, oh, yeah. James Earl Jones, I'm telling you. The voice of my generation. I mean, he's something I'll remember. I won't remember politicians' names after a while, and I won't remember the stuff we fought about and the stuff we'd argued about, but the arts is something you'll remember. You'll remember the song. You'll remember the artist who sang the song, who wrote the song. You'll remember performances. You'll remember the voice. And I will forever remember his voice, especially when he gives those lines in Field of Dreams as Terrence Mann that runs chills down my spine to hear him speak, to hear him talk, to hear him emote. I mean, my God. Yeah, he is Terrence Mann. He is Mufasa. He is the Lion King. He is Anakin Skywalker. He is Darth Vader forever. I will never forget him. What an amazing life. What a brilliant artist. And what an incredible, moving, emotive voice. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Thank you for watching.